clear picture, though, isn't it?
You know, full battery, you just remember that.
See, this was just a gravel. I don't know if it was even gravel road or it might have been dirt road. And when I was in the 3rd grade, then I went to school there, or 2nd grade, last part of the 2nd grade, and then I walked down here, and then crossed 49, went east, and the pump water we got right here where these trees was right there down there, and was a little on this corner right here. If we got time, you can slow down. Top was the school building here, and these pines wasn't here, but those maple trees, they weren't very big around then, but we'd drill holes in them and suck the sap out of them. And the school set up there where that house was, just one room schoolhouse, and they had outdoor toilets was to the back out there, and no janitor to take care of them. They got pretty. Go around there and go. Now we'll go back west on this road right here. Recess, we used to, in the wintertime when it froze up, we'd walk down here, and here in this low spot, there was a little pond on both sides of the road. We'd freeze over and we'd come down, play on the ice at recess time. This was all farmland. There's no houses there. This here, the lowest spots right here.
Sure.
It was mostly on this other side. They kind of filled it in. Most water was over here. And this next house up here, well, no, they built one. Yeah, that's up here. Is where I was born, where these big trees was. But that's a different house there now. Those grain bins, when they've tore a lot of the bill. I haven't been here for a while. They've tore all that. See that big, and all those buildings have been tore down. You know, they built it. But these big trees were there, and the house set over here, and it's right along here, and then there's a windmill there. Where those grain bins are, there was a big barn there, and then there was a cow barn set out this other way. And there right along the road here, there was a little, called a granary, where they stored grain in there. And it was, well, I can tell you some other time of things, some of the things that had happened in that, but it sat right out here, and he raised potatoes, and there was a fence over this ground that was part of the farm on both sides of the road right here. This was just a dirt road back then, down through here.
Can we turn around and keep going?
And then, when we lived here, of course, this here big barn here shows that kind of spoiled it. But we'll go on west farther and go around the corner there.
Okay. Keep going west.
And when we was here, before I moved here, now I would have been, well, I was in the 2nd grade. But one evening there, looked across and over there, through the field there on this other road, a barn was burning, and I still remember sitting there watching out the window of that barn. Never thought about it at the time that years later we'd be living there. So this place was over here, see, and we used to get a lot of arrowheads along this road here.
The road, or over here closer to the ditch?
Right in the field along.
Okay.
Be farming this field here we'd walked in. Then there was a lane where we're going straight ahead, and it's all growing up with trees there now. When you go clear to the back part of the farm, part of this farm was on both sides of the road here.
Okay.
And come down here. There's a lot of this. We moved here after I was probably about ready for high school. We moved here. Probably about 1930. And we moved over here. And this is where we lived when that woman stopped there, right here. Now this big barn, they tore it down. So the barn that burnt, and then they built a really big, nice barn there. And we moved in, the house was up around in the hill, and we hadn't been here only, I guess, about a week there. And it was on Sunday, on St. Patrick's Day. And we were sitting there at the dinner table, and somebody said something about they heard cracking, a wall cracking, wallpaper, you know. And Dad got up from the dinner table and put his hand on the wall. He said, the wall's hot. And of course, they had no fire department or nothing back in those days. And so the house just burned, and we carried stuff out. But they parked the car about where that mailbox is. And I was farming, there was a fence row up here. And I was walking north, she walked over and up the fence and was talking to me about Edna May. And,
oh, this is where you met it, or Edna May, or where she talked to you about Edna May?
Yeah, and asked me and said that she had talked to her about writing to me. Mm-hmm. And there was a fence row went down here, and that was the dividing of that part. But all this out here now was farmland. You know, they built houses out on it. This is where we farmed it.
Yeah.
And down here, I guess it's probably gone. But I don't suppose it'd show if it was there anymore. I remember carving my name on the cement, but I guess it's gone now.
What, down here somewhere?
Cement button right there. But, and then when we first married, well, on this road here, we used to take this was just a stone road or dirt road, I don't remember now. And we used to bring the cows down into the road to the pasture down there, so I'd drive down there every day. And when we get down to this corner, when we were first married, then we lived in probably can see it when we get down there. That house won't even be there anymore. So we can drive down that way, I guess.
Sure.
But we used to bring the cows clear down here. And then all this is a housing project now. But that was just pasture ground all over where these houses are. And yeah, tomatoes there. That turn goes to the left there.
Okay.
Down there where those trees, I guess the house is still there. So on our side of the road there, where that house down
This one down here?
missing the sightseeing. Back there where I was born, that's all changed. It's all, those buildings are all gone and everything.
What do you mean?
Where I was born, you know.
Well, we've been there before, haven't we?
Not since they've been.
Oh, really?
Here's the turn around right here. Just pull in here. And that's the house that we lived in there when we first married and come up here.
You mean it was still standing and now it's gone?
The house is there, you know, that new house, but all the big barn and all those buildings, great big grain bins out there now.
They're all gone.
Yeah, you wouldn't recognize it. Well, we'll go back past there.
Do you want me to go back that way?
No, we'll go back the way we come, yeah.
Okay.
We lived here for...
So you lived in this house? How long did you live in this house?
And we
Stop
didn't
for a
live
minute,
here
so-
too long.
What?
Was
Can you
a
just
couple,
stop for a
didn't
minute,
know, over
so-
a couple of years. That's where Elinor was. Was she born there?
This
That's
is
Cornish's.
oh. Well, which place were you talking about?
Yeah, where I was born.
Well, no, Eleanor wasn't. We lived here. I came up in June and we moved out before Eleanor's born. She was born down there at
She was
Peter's.
born. That's right. She was born
She
down
was
there.
born at Peter's place.
Yeah.
Phillip was too, and then June was
Yeah.
born over at the Verse.
Yeah, that's
It was
right.
gone. It burned down. The Verse.
Yeah, that place over quite a ways after we left this other place down here. This other place down here was kind
I went to sleep, I guess.
Turn off.
yeah, you took it.
Yeah, this one isn't it, honey?
Yeah,
This-
this first house.
The next
Well,
one.
that's the one that was moved down there. Was that back there where the, I mean,
There's a big pond by
yeah,
the house where
this
we.
next house is where
It's
we,
not this one either.
yeah, that's been built new too, just lately in the last year or two.
I think you're lost. This isn't it either.
And this is a different house too, isn't it? But anyway,
The
now
one
right
here's where the
right
pond
here,
is.
this here was a
Oh, there's the pond.
pond. The water come clear up here to the road. Right up here to just a little room along the edge there, because they used to fish out here on the road side, you know. And it's full of turtles. And back in there, we had a hog house back in there.
So where was the house? Just right next to the pond?
The house is right up
The
ahead
next
of
one.
us.
Oh, this house right here?
Yeah.
And when did you live here?
And we lived there.
Well, we moved here in 1941, and we left in
This here,
1940.
we got a lot of things to remember
Fine.
here.
Okay.
This is when Edna and I went out. We butchered how many hogs was it one after then for winter. There's a road went down through here at that time, went clear back down through the woods. And this was
Used to
kind
be a
of a nice
fence
place to
around.
live.
Used to be a fence.
Back in there,
fence
it's what
around
they
this
call
yard,
cranberry
too.
marsh. Down in that middle of that, there was a place where cranberries grew, and it was quicksand. You couldn't walk out in there, and we used to trap out there. We'd lay 12-inch boards down and crawl out on those boards.
When we lived here, he worked in the mills and farmed too. The draft board told him they wanted him to go to farming, or they didn't need him to be sent overseas because they had plenty of
Sure.
people, but they needed him on the farm. But he had to increase his farm operation. They couldn't work in the mills, so we bought cows and started dairy farming.
Huh?
This is kind of a pretty place to live, because back in there, there's
It sold for like $30 an acre,
Wow.
but we didn't have any money.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've noticed, a lot of big fancy houses have been built.
In the area, sure. Well, and so this is where Phillip and Elinor were both born?
Yeah.
did you birth them at home, or did you go to the hospital?
No, I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
you can go on around. This kind of nice to drive down through here. Now this, both sides of the
We
road
used to
here,
find a lot of
was part of
mushrooms
the-
here.
part of
Both
Peter's
sides
place.
of the road here, he said, were part of the farm.
Yeah.
And you see all these houses.
This is
There's
a
another
pond
pond
in
down here. These ponds decreased in size, they
Yeah.
claim, because when they put in 49, they
used to be-
destroyed some,
The water would be deep in
some,
like
do
the
you
horse,
call
that
them?
one there for the house.
Wetlands or whatever?
The
no,
horses swim.
when the water comes up out of the ground.
Spring?
Springs fed it, and they figure they cut off the supply.
What did you used to trap back in here, Grandpa?
You know what?
What you said you used to trap back in here? What did you trap for?
Oh, we used to trap for, and the creeks we trap for muskrats and pretty
Yeah.
much
Oh, that's nice how.
whatever we
That's
could
fun
get.
out.
When we get down here now, it comes to a Y, I don't know if you make that turn to go down the other way or whether that's going ahead and turn around. But all out in here, we used to just get loads of mushrooms.
That's when he was a child.
How old were you when you
I
lived
don't know if
here?
either one of those. I don't think either silo was there when we lived here.
But the barn was?
But the barn was. But this building between the silos wasn't there. And then I remember being a big farm. And out on this side of the house was a big orchard over there. And well, this driveway, and that garage wasn't there.
It's like there's still a pear tree and
But
it's loaded
we
with
could go.
pears.
We can go on through to the next, road and then go north.
There's that back corner there,
That top,
stairs.
my room was that top corner that can't see it very well through the trees.
Sorry.
Some apple trees too.
I turn in.
Big pine trees gone. And, several of the buildings been since, but those are big maple trees. There was a big pine tree that grew up right out there in the middle of this yard. Remember that?
So how old were you when you lived here?
We lived here. That would have been back and probably left here about 1930. But I think we lived 4 or 5 years here.
So 1930 would have been 32. You would have, no, 30. 30 would have been the year you went into high school.
Year what?
You entered high school
Yeah.
because you graduated in 34.
Yeah, probably was about. But,
Straight and
was it
direct.
ever that big house there?
With the blue and the white?
Yeah.
They've got, when we lived there, the windows were so poor that the wind used to blow. If I hang a comforter over the windows,
Those evergreens wasn't there
puffed out the
then.
comforter.
This big tree was there, but
Well, how?
and the barn, the big barn out there, it's gone.
When did you live here?
When you're, this is where Marilyn was born. Your dad was about. Your dad was about a year
Now
and a half
this
old
house
when we
wasn't
moved
there,
in here.
but that old building there was there. But back out behind there was a great big dairy barn. And,
There was
is that the same chicken house? It must be in there. Yeah.
there was a room upstairs where they stored seed, like clover seed and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And the mice were so bad. Why don't you go on down this way?
Go this way?
There were so many mice. Jim and Phillip, Dad would help them set traps, and they'd go run the traps with the mice.
You know, down here there was a pond right now. This house wasn't here then. That was all part of the. See down in there was a big pond down in there. We want to go.
Do you want
It's
to
for
go
sale.
see the Dalston place?
It's for sale. I'm sure it's so cheap.
Do we want to go see how much it is? You can take a still picture off the top. It's not that great. But okay. It's pretty cool though.
We like.
You could probably sit right. See. Might even turn that light out, but then that would mess up your camera. You need the light for the camera, so
Yeah.
it gets. That's one of the orphans. Oh, I should have said something.
during that time, Ken and his first wife got married. His brother Ken was married twice.
Okay.
And she blew out a bunch of tires on the car, you know. And Dal didn't tell me. Betty told me. And another thing that happened was that he let his brother Lloyd. Lloyd was kind of the scapegoat. He's kind of
Yeah.
and let him use the car, and he used to put, I don't know what he put, maybe it was he put our license plate on, there was something he did anyway, that also ended up not good. And I was all upset, you know, and she kind of jumped onto me. Betty stood up for me for getting upset over it.
Okay.
But I was upset mostly because Dal didn't tell me.
Right.
It wasn't because so much because it happened to, but why didn't he tell me? You know?
Right. Yeah.
And another time when I would have my babies and I'd try to breastfeed, I would just ache all over. I felt better pregnant than I did after I had a baby. Oh, I would just ache and I'd feel so bad. And whenever I'd say anything to her, she just jumped all over me for feeling sorry for myself. Well, in later years, a doctor told me that, well, I would also get a high fever. When Elinor was a tiny baby, Dal was working in the mills. One night he left to go to work. There I laid on the bed with hot packs and the baby, you know, to take care of.
Yeah.
We didn't live far from them, but I had that happen to me about every time that I tried to nurse a baby, and then I wouldn't have much milk afterwards. Well, he told me you had mastitis, and you probably never should have breastfed.
Yeah.
But anyway, and it made me stop and think, you know, that I was feeling sorry for myself. And it doesn't do any good, you know, really.
Yeah, I'm sure you had
But
good
I
reason,
could have stood a little sympathy.
Right.
but anyway, she was very kind to me. If Mom and Dad were coming up to visit, she would come and help me clean the house and get ready for them. We didn't often leave the kids. We left one time when Elinor was little and Dal wanted to go to see the people from the Grand Ole Opry were in Valpo movie.
Oh, really?
And we went down there to leave them when we were sneaking away. And she said, no, you don't ever do that. You tell them where you're going, that you're going to be gone and where you're going. And that was good advice, really, you know.
Yeah.
So she had a lot of good advice, and like I say, they were just really, for a couple of years, I guess, while poor Betty got married. Every Sunday we'd all be there at their house. We might take some food with us, you know, or something, but all get together and play games and have a lot of fun. But you know what kind of a man his dad was. He was so kind and
Yeah, it's good to have good in-laws.
her sisters always said that when her babies were little, Dad would be out there washing the clothes and she'd be reading a book. But you know, she had her babies just one after the other.
Okay.
So she kind of babied her. But it was probably a lesson she learned in her life that she wasn't good to feel sorry for yourself, and she was passing it on.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff did you learn from your mom when she got married?
Well, I didn't get to see my mother much. She came one time and was really upset because I was pregnant again. But when we were growing up, she always said, Whenever you tell a child something, be sure you know what you're doing. Don't threaten to do something that you know you can't do. Like say, the one thing Dal would do it. When Elinor, she got kind of sassy when she was only about high school age. And Dal would say, "You're not going to go to that ball game. You're not going to go to the ball game." He knew all the time. He wasn't going to be able to make her stay home and stay with her, you know. He
Right.
wanted to go to the ball game himself.
Yeah.
And so there was one example of don't threaten what you know you can't
Right.
carry out.
That's good advice.
And another was, whenever you tell a child something, be sure that you do what you tell them. Be consistent. She didn't use that word, but you hear it more.
Right.
And, so there were things, you know, like that she taught us. Those were the two main ones that I remember sticking to, you know. There's one thing I did I wish I hadn't. She always used a little switch on us kids. And really, it's better than a big old board. Like we had a neighbor who would lift her kids right off the ground with a board, you know.
Wow.
And it really didn't, she really didn't, she made me do it once. And Mom, that little switch, Mom always said they feel that little switch better than they feel that it doesn't hurt them as bad, you know. And I used to take little of the kids and tell you, they'd say, you know, I'd have a switch laying up on top of the refrigerator. Anyway.
Did you ever send them to see Dad? Always to us, we had us go pick our own switch out. Is that
Did
something?
he?
Is that something you did to them that got him started
Could
thinking about that, or
be.
is that his own creation?
Could be. That old mulberry tree, the kids said they thought it never would grow up.
It'd get switched to death, huh? Or chosen for switches to death. That's hilarious.
I think, too, a person needs to... Another thing Mom said is don't save all the punishment for your husband when he gets home.
Yeah.
You take care of it when it happens. That's when it means the most to the child.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with that up to a point. Never had to spank kids very much because they were smart enough to learn from the first time.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I like Phillip when we lived over at the Burst farm. He was just a year old when we moved there. And our house sat on one side and they were directly across the road, and some of the buildings where Dal would work were across the road. And one day he started out across that road and I used the little switch and I never had to use it again. But I gave him a lot of freedom too, because he and Elinor both would go out and spend a lot of time when their dad was working the milk the cows on our side of the road, and they'd be out there in the barn with Phillip would climb right out of his bed. He'd go right over the, if you had the sides up, he'd go right over the sides. You know, you wouldn't let him if there were animals moving around, but if Dal was just like cleaning the barn or milking cows, the cows were all in the stanchions.
Sure. A little safer. But you want to try sending an email? See how you, just to make sure you recall.
Let's see, what would I do?
Alright, so Outlook is open.
Well, that's cool.
The apprentice is right on. Omarosa, the truck, and the apprentice. $4,000. What physical condition state comes from an ancient Greek word meaning to breathe hard? Arthritis, insomnia, asthma, migrant.
You have to double click on it. Or click it once. You're right. Click it once. Or yeah, see there she popped up in
Click
it.
it once and
Or
do the
or you can
two,
click
hit
it
the
once and then
two.
hit the 2. That would work too. That might be
Click it
easier for you
once
to
and
do.
hit the 2.
See that 2
Oh,
right
the 2
there?
up there.
So you just click it once and then hit 2. Or click
Or
it
double
twice.
click it, yeah.
Now what goes here?
But that's if all you're sending this to is Elinor, then you're done.
Then you're done.
You just click OK at the bottom.
Well, let me go back. Can I go back on that? Do it
Click
over?
that 2 again.
If you want to add more people.
No, I meant to do it over.
Do the whole thing.
Okay,
over.
just hit the red X on
Hit
this,
that
yeah.
X. And then hit no.
So now I want to put new. And then click 2.
Yep.
And then click Elinor twice.
Yep.
There you go.
And then now how do I get the email back?
Just click
Okay.
OK.
Oh, that's right.
Although I'm sure I look like I'm very, fashion conscious.
Besides having a hot body.
Exactly. Usually I just take my clothes off, so,
And you can just put hi, can't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Anything
gonna
you
have
want.
to trust the New York audience to give me a good answer.
All right, audience, we
No,
have
I
to
didn't,
click it
I
in
didn't
that
click
little
my
box.
thing in
If you're
first.
ready, audience, on your keypad, vote now.